Today, Kevin and I are going to be trying some sweet treats from McGee's Bakery. McGee's Bakery has been on in Lexington, Kentucky for years and years and years. So we're going to take you in and see what the place looks like, and then give some donuts a try. They have, what are those are called cream horns. Yeah. They have cream horns, and they have pies. Transparent tarts is what they are. And then this is coffee. But there's a big mural up in the back, and then this is all the dining room. So we basically ordered one of each donut, but they also have danishes too. And whoopie pies, yeah. This is how the box looks when you open it. It's just like this, and since we ordered so many, they lay them on their sides. But we got 2 yeast donuts. We got a glazed, and then we got a chocolate back here. And then these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 cake donuts. So one has sprinkles, one is with cinnamon, one is plain, one has a caramel glaze, and the other one has a chocolate glaze. And then we got one of each of their long johns. So this one has a caramel glaze, this one is chocolate glaze, this is just the regular glazed, and then this one is the Pride, and she said it had buttercream on the inside. So the first thing we're going to try, we have we're going to try a yeast donut versus a plain yeast donut versus the plain cake donut. Okay, you ready?
Which one am I try first?
Let's do the yeast.
This one,
yes.
the big one. I tell you what, it's bigger.
The yeast one is big and fluffy, and yeah, it's flaky looking.
It's a big donut.
I brought paper plates today. Imagine me thinking ahead.
I always like a yeast donut better.
I love the crust of the glaze on top, but I also love that it's light.
It's very fluffy. Yeah, the other one, dropping glaze on it, does not have any glaze on it at all.
No, it's very plain.
It's pretty light. It's more doughy, like cake.
Right.
It's more cake. Well, it's cake. It's cake donut, so right. It's more cake-like.
So it seems denser. You can't even compare them. It's like day and night. It's literally like you took a very, very plain piece of cake and you put it in a donut shape.
Yeah, these cake ones are kind of like what you'd get on the donuts that you'd buy, like the Hostess and the the little donuts that you buy. That's
Right.
the texture of these.
So I would 10 times rather have the yeast. The bad thing is that they only have 2 yeast donuts. But it might make a huge difference for the rest of them.
With the topping.
With the topping.
Yeah.
They're going to have toppings on them. So the only other 2 that we can compare, and then we'll dive into the rest of the box. This is the chocolate glazed yeast donut, and then this is the chocolate glazed cake donut. So this is we're going to try the yeast again first with the chocolate.
It's not quite as light and fluffy because it's got so much heavy like chocolate icing on it, but it's very good.
It's still, even though it's chocolate glazed, it still has a crust of sugar underneath that. So you get the original sugar glaze on top, and then to that they have added chocolate.
Yeah.
And it tastes like a very rich chocolate flavor.
Yeah.
It's almost like a candy bar chocolate.
Yeah, it's a good, very rich frosting. Basically.
Yes, it's very, very nice. It is not like the fakey, waxy.
Yeah, you don't get, it doesn't coat your roof of your mouth.
Yeah, like you would from a brand.
Oh, here you go. Wait, try that little plug in the middle.
Oh.
No, just pick that piece of chocolate.
Oh, Kevin wants me to just eat. Okay, so this is the cake, and the cake donut.
The chocolate's good.
Does not have that glaze. So the yeast donut had that glaze on it. This is just chocolate covered. That makes a huge difference.
The flavor, yeah.
Oh, now that they've done that, it kind of changes it.
Well, it's got a denser texture. It does have a denser texture to it. It's a little closer. But the flavors are similar to each other because you really get mostly chocolate, honestly. It almost seems like, even though the other one has the glaze on it and the chocolate, that almost seems sweeter.
It seems sweeter. No, I agree with you. It seems sweeter. The chocolate seems thicker. I don't know why.
No, but I agree it does.
So out of the original glazed, I would rather have the yeast donut.
Yeah.
The chocolate ones, I'm going to pick the cake.
I probably would too. Although, honestly, either one of them look really good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn down either one of them.
Okay, so now we're, let's just do, this one is
Sprinkle.
Do you just want me to take a bite?
Go for it.
And these are cake donuts. I think I can imagine a lot of kids ordering that donut because it's so festive and pretty and fun.
It's good. It's kind of plain, just like the regular plain donut was.
Yes, I would not get it again, and I've never been sensitive to sprinkles and dyes, but I do taste that color a little bit.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a different flavor.
It's not bitter, but it is a little different.
It's different to where you're like, oh, I can taste the sprinkles actually have a little bit of a flavor to them.
I agree.
It does give it, it's very crispy.
Yeah, it's got a lot of little crunch in there, but flavor-wise, it's kind of plain.
Yes.
It's very similar to the plain cake donut. You know,
Yes.
it just really doesn't have much different.
So this is the caramel cake.
It literally looks like they've taken a spoonful of frosting and just run it on top.
And where it's running off, that's
the bite she's going to take.
Oh my gosh.
It's thick.
Wait till you taste the caramel. I know.
It's a very rich caramel.
That's like homemade caramel. That is,
That's really good.
We've made something with that amount of sugar. That is like 1 out of 10 sugar. That's like a 15. It is incredibly sweet. You know that recipe that I do where I lay out all the graham crackers.
Yeah.
And then I pour, and it almost tastes like a Werther's Original caramel.
Kind of like that.
That is so thick and absolutely delicious.
It's very good.
That's my favorite so far. That caramel. It's wonderful.
It's not mine, but I do like it a lot.
Oh, listen.
It's a good caramel.
That is, and it's so thick on top that it's just wonderful.
It's very, very good.
So now we're going to be trying the cinnamon sugar on the cake.
I got a plate full of dead donuts over here.
Well, trust me, they're not dead though, because I'm going to be going back to that caramel one. And I will give you prices at the end. Now you saw that thing was full of cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah, it's covered.
But
It seems plain, doesn't it?
Yes, after having the caramel and it being so intensely sweet, that one didn't seem sweet at all.
No, it's you do get a nice cinnamon sugar flavor. It's just not very strong cinnamon sugar flavor.
And there's a grittiness to it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you like that cinnamon sugar grit like you do on a churro, it's the same
Yeah, you'll
thing.
like that.
It's not too much cinnamon though. It's a great balance.
So that's all the cake and the yeast donuts. Out of those, caramel's definitely your favorite.
Caramel's my favorite, hands down favorite. Love that. It's because of the caramel.
I'm gonna sound weird.
Plain glazed.
The plain glazed yeast donut. I love that flavor. I always like the flavor. I like the flavor of the sweet, but I like the flavor of the donut itself. That doughy kind of
and flaky.
bread. Yeah, I love that texture and that flavor. That's the one I would go for if I were to go in there and order one. I would literally order me 2 or 3 of those and be done with it.
Right.
But I do like the caramel would be my number 2 because it's just over the top sweet. I mean, truly.
Right. Well, we still have 4 Long Johns to try.
I'm gonna switch out plates real quick.
Okay. Okay, you couldn't tell in the box.
No, because I had no clue until she pulled it out of there.
But these Long Johns are
They're filled, but they're like filled like a sandwich.
Yeah, they've like cut them long ways, and they have literally filled them. Hopefully you can see that now.
That's cool. I like that. That's my kind of feeling. But you make sure you're going to get something in every bite, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because a regular filled Long John, sometimes you don't get anything in some of the bites.
That's birthday cake. That icing.
If
You've ever had a bakery, and I do mean bakery.
That's buttercream frosting.
Yeah. I mean bakery cake, not from Walmart, not from Kroger, not from Sam's Club, not from Costco.
Although they do a pretty good job.
They
but
do?
Not bakery buttercream.
Right. If you've ever had bakery cake from a bakery, that is the buttercream in that.
It's good.
That is the best thing. That is absolutely rich. They have, if you like getting the edge of the cake where all the, which I love, where all the frosting is, that's like they have put all that in that.
It's an excellent
Long
way.
John.
It's an excellent way to fill a Long John donut. That's for sure.
Oh,
because normally you take the long thing, and you stick in the end, you squeeze it, and you pull it out, and you get some filling in there. This is a whole. They may as well put it on top. I mean, it's literally like a cake.
Yes, it's decadent.
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
good.
decadent.
And the donut itself is very flaky and fluffy.
Yes, I agree. It's wonderful.
So this chocolate looks like it. Hold it up.
So
It looks like it's full of the same stuff.
Yeah, but chocolate coated. Hopefully, I know the lighting in the car. Frankly, that's why
I can't get a shadow on you.
that's the difference in doing them in the car and at home. Is that you can the lighting is controlled.
The good thing is Tammy always takes pictures and puts them at the end, really good pictures. So, or at least the best you can do in a car. So if you want a picture, then just look at the end.
That thing is heavy.
They're very, very heavy.
I bet you that's probably 3,000 calories. I'm not kidding. Because that has some weight to it. So you're holding it. I mean, that's heavier than like a big sausage on a bun with loaded with sauerkraut.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
Yeah, I mean that thing is very heavy.
That's good. I like the textures. The flavor is awesome. The chocolate kind of overrides the buttercream flavor a little bit, but it's still really good.
The chocolate is, yes, I agree. The first one we had, you got the pure buttercream frosting, and you really got that flavor. This one, you taste a lot more of the chocolate. So honestly, out of the two, I would rather have the original.
The plain glazed.
The plain, the glazed with the buttercream.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay.
Now caramel.
So now we're moving on to caramel. We moved the car, so the
sun's not bright.
So hopefully you can see this better. Do you want the first bite of any of these? You're letting me take the first bite of all of them. I hope this is, it's the same caramel.
It looks like the same caramel. Their caramel is so rich. How good you feeling?
It's fantastic. It's like what was on the cake donut, except you have the addition of the buttercream,
which makes it 10 times sweeter.
I wonder if
I couldn't imagine making that caramel sweeter, and they did.
I wonder if anyone really eats a whole one, or if normally when you take them home, would you have that?
I could eat a whole one. I would be sick afterwards.
And that's what I'm
so
thinking.
Much sweet
because it's ultra sweet.
Yeah. When you talk about make your teeth hurt, literally that's so sweet it make your teeth hurt.
Yes, but it's fantastic. So now we're gonna have the Pride one. June is Pride Month, so I wanted to make sure I tried the Pride Long John, and it looks like it's the same as the original, but it's beautiful. Look how pretty that is. They did such a good job.
I bet you they do one for Mardi Gras too.
Oh, I bet they do too, with yellow and green and purple. I bet they do too.
Because I see purple on that one, I see the yellow.
But now this will have a different texture because it has all the
crunchy sprinkles on there. And they look like the sugar sprinkles, so it's just really colored sugar.
It is the same, of course, as the glaze, but you get a lot of that grit, a lot of that gritty.
Yeah, if you like that texture.
Yes, that sugar texture.
And honestly, after eating that caramel, though, really, they're all going to seem like they're not very sweet. But
the caramel's the sweetest.
That one doesn't seem as sweet even as the regular glazed one. It didn't to me, but I mean, sure, I think there's a little less buttercream in that.
I do too. When you looked at it from the side, it looked like they put just, slightly less.
Not that there's a bad thing with that, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
So out of the Long Johns, which one's your favorite? I mean, I could guess.
Oh, the caramel.
Mine's still the glazed. Mine's still the glazed one. I love that. I like the flavor of a glazed donut.
I really like the glaze too.
Yeah.
And
the caramel's good. It's just a little too sweet for me.
It is so much. You would truly get sick if you ate the whole thing. But I'm telling you, if you are in the Lexington, Kentucky area, these are definitely some that you have to try.
Yeah, and you can eat inside. The what you saw, the inside is nice, and now they do get really busy at some points in time during the day.
Right.
So you got to make sure you get there when you can actually go in.
So now I'm going to show you something that is not sweet. So this is something that Kevin visited their website, and Kevin saw this on their website. What is it?
I cut it in half just so I could eat it better, but it is a biscuit with chicken and gravy, like I don't know if it's salsa gravy or just a white gravy, but here we go.
And I will not be trying this because I do not like gravy. I really don't. I just don't. A lot of people, that's a southern thing, is gravy. Like this. Yeah, I don't want that texture, and it's just a texture thing, and it's a visual thing too. It's not just, it's all of it combined. It just doesn't look appealing to me. But now Kevin loves it, gravy.
That is so good. Their biscuits are actually really good. They're not the same as like a Hardee's. They're not that like buttery thick biscuit. They're not quite like that. They're more of a homemade biscuit,
right?
Which they would be because they're a bakery,
right?
But that gravy, the chicken, first of all, is very crisp and spiced, but the gravy also has some spiced up, like a sausage gravy. Really, really good. You can get this, or you can get just sausage and gravy if you wanted to. Not sausage and gravy, biscuits and gravy. So it's biscuits with gravy on top of it. You do it with a fork. But I love the addition of the chicken in here, so it's really good. So this one's a thumbs up for me.
Well, and it's amazing.
So if you don't want anything sweet, you can get this, and it's $6 for this.
I can make gravy. I can make mashed potatoes too, but I don't eat them. So I want to give you prices.
And you couldn't avoid the gravy. You could get it without gravy. They had you could get it with gravy, or you could get it with a like a queso, like cheese. And I can't imagine eating this with like a queso.
Oh, I think it'd be good with cheese. Chicken and cheese.
On a biscuit? Maybe.
Well,
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I'd rather have the
good.
gravy than the queso. Let's put it that way.
Well, you can order online. It's www.mcgeesbakery.com. So you can order online and they'll have it ready for you. You can, they'll bring it out to your car. You let them know you're there, and you don't even have to go in if you don't want to. But it's a really cool, as you could see earlier, really, really cool atmosphere.
Wood ceiling. You can see the ceiling. It's like a barn in there.
Tons of room. The mural on the wall. One of
cool.
the painted horses. I mean, it's just really nice. The yeast glazed and the yeast glazed, the cinnamon sugar cake, the plain cake were, it says 80 cents a piece. The yeast chocolate, caramel cake, chocolate cake were 90 cents a piece. The Long John's was $2. The Long John chocolate was $2.50. The caramel was $3. The Pride was $2.50, and then Kevin's chicken and biscuit was $6, like he said. So our total was $21.10, and then you have the option of adding tip, which we of course did,
and tax and
all that. So that'll just depend on how much tip and you want to give. And Kentucky has 6% sales tax. I absolutely think it's worth it. I think they're wonderful, wonderful donuts.
Yeah, but if you're like me, you can just go in there and get a plain glazed, be happy.
And be completely happy.
Or get a chicken and biscuit.
But yeah, I wish I could say that these are available. I wish I could say that they're in your area. They're not.
No, and I don't think they ship or anything either.
No, so. I don't think they do either. This is just one of those things where if you're ever in the area, you just have to stop in and try it out. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.